What up, though? Welcome to my channel. I want to get into this real quick story time, but before I do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and when you get finished listening to this, send me a comment. Any questions you got, I got you. So I want to go through this real quick about how I got to be a homeowner. First, I want to let you know I did not have one, but I had two realtors. The first one I had to get rid of. He just was not right for me. He did not even want to show me homes. So boom, you're not for me, I'm not for you. I reached out to my dad and I let him know, look, I'm looking for a house. It's been real hard. This was in the middle of the pandemic when interest rates was dumb low. So, I really wanted to get in. So my dad was like, you got family up there. You can get him to be your realtor. He's been doing this for years. We reach out to him. He don't reach back out to me. And I'm like, man, this is just not working. Beginning of 2022, my cousin finally reached out to me. He got the ball rolling. Do you hear me? He made sure he showed me houses. He offered me different houses. We went through a whole situation where he found me a house that wasn't even on the market yet and almost had me in it, but they didn't even want to give him commission. We won't doing that. Okay? So fast forward to my current situation, the home that I purchased, and the day that I found this home, I went to go and see two homes. I saw a house that was 2 blocks away around the corner, and then I saw this one. I actually put an offer in on both of these houses, right? So when I put offers in on houses, which I did that too many times that I can count, when I did put offers in on houses, I would go on Zillow and see if it was a contract pending. That kind of let me know, like, it won't you, boo. They did not accept your offer. And it was just like, move on. It was so depressing. It was so many times. Like, it began to be a point where I would take anything. And I wish I would have never been that way. But it's okay. It got me here. So anyway, the day that I saw this house, I honestly didn't think much of it because I had been to so many houses and it was just like, let's see what happens. Like, it wasn't even a thought. So the night that I saw this house, the first house that I put an offer in, I already saw a contract was pending. I don't even think they entertained my offer. The second day, I went to work. I went on Zillow while I was doing my morning routine, and I saw that the house that I'm currently in had a contract pending. And I was like, you know what? I ain't even gonna worry about it. It is what it is. On to the next one. And then 30 minutes later, I get this text from my cousin. Congratulations, you under contract. And I'm like, it was me. So I was super excited. But let me tell you, that day, talking to my lender gave me anxiety beyond belief. So let me tell you a little bit about my lender. My lender was cool as I don't know what. But let me tell you something. He was always trying to find me more money and more money. When I first started the process with him as my lender, I only was able to get pre-approved for $200,000. But remember I told y'all, I had been working on my credit this whole time. So every 3 months, they had to update my credit file and would go in and find my new credit score. So every 3 months, he'll be like, all right, now we can get you $210,000. Then the next 3 months, he was like, we can get you $215,000. In the midst of him telling me he can get me $215,000, he found a grant program where I could get $7,500, right? And he offered that to me. He was like, if you do this $7,500, you can get a house that's $235,000. Now for me, like, that's bomb in the area I'm looking in. Like, that's good enough for me. That's cool. So I got receipts because when it got down to it, do you know that he found out that I had way better credit than he thought I did? And when he saw that credit, he was like, I can get you approved for this amount right now, and you won't have to do nothing but close in like 5 days. And I was like, what about the grant? This dude said this to me. In other words, he was like, Lordy, you really still want to do that? Yeah, I want to do that. That's $7,500. I don't have to come out my pocket. It's a grant that you offered me that I wouldn't have known about had you not told me. It was a whole heaping mess. So he was irritated by it. And even though it took an additional 2 weeks for the whole thing to close. I didn't mind it because that was $7,500 that did not have to come out of my pocket. But all in all, it ended up being great for all of us. I ended up being able to close on my house, like, not on the day that I wanted to, but we ended up closing, and I couldn't have been more thankful. I was so very happy to finally close on a house. I thought it would not happen. I had invited my family the year before to my house for 4th of July. So to close on my house on the 17th of June was like cutting it close. So I mean, I went through a headache, y'all. I went through a headache of having to deal with a realtor that didn't want to deal with me. I went through a headache of having to deal with a lender that was like, oh, no, I don't want to use that grant no more. Like, let's just use your credit as your credit. And it was just like, I felt like even in the process, after even getting in contract, it was a letdown. It was something that was still trying to let me down. But I have learned and taught myself to fight through the things that feel like it's going to be the worst, because God always saves his biggest battles for his best warriors. And I know that that's what I am. I kept the faith throughout this process, and I love my space. I can't wait to really, 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 really make it my own, but it's my space. So y'all, I really appreciate y'all listening to this. It's so much more to come. It's so much more I got going on. And it's more than about this house. But if you got questions or you want to know anything else about this, hit your girl up in the comments. Ask me anything, I respond, I promise. But in the meantime, I want y'all to listen in to my family celebrating with me.
We got our pop fizz. Get our pop fizz on.
We gotta toast it up to
Hold up, wait a minute.
Okay.
We toasted it up, got the pop fizz.
Not recording, how I record.
Girl, don't nobody
Marty, come show me how to record.
What? Say it again, one more time. Say it again, Trina.
We're getting our pop fizz on.
You ain't recording. You ain't recording nothing. Push the red button.
God dang,
we getting out. We're getting take 3.
I thought it would never happen, but I did it. I did it.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Jesus. Yes. The Holy Ghost get this house struck by lightning and burned down already. Holy Ghost got it.